Alright guys, we're back again with another video, Ultimate Learning. And today we're going to be doing another experiment with a metal. In our last video, you saw how we use gallium, which is a liquid metal at room temperature. A metal with a really low melting point. And we could do some cool stuff with that gallium. We turned it into a spoon and we made a key mold. And then we melted both of them down with some warm water. But today's experiment is going to be something a little bit different. We're going to be out in the night time and seeing chemistry at night. That's right guys, we're going to be making our own sparklers. We're going to use some iron wool and a 9-volt battery to produce sparklers. So to make our sparklers, we're going to use some 9-volt batteries. And you can see at the top that we've got a positive and negative terminal. And when we touch the iron wool, it's going to create a current, which should create our sparklers. All right guys, so we've got our iron wool on an aluminium tray. We put it on aluminium just because the temperature is going to get really, really high. And as we touch the iron wool with our 9-volt battery, as the terminals touch the wire, a current's going to flow. The iron wool completes the circuit. And you can see that as we touch the wool, that the current starts to flow around the iron fibers. And it's giving off a lot of energy. It's giving off a lot of heat and it's giving off a lot of light. And you can see, look, that as the iron starts to heat up, as more and more current flows through the wires, it's heating up and the iron's reacting with the oxygen, forming iron oxide. It's giving out a lot of heat. And it looks really cool. It looks like lava flowing through the iron wool. And you can see, look, because the iron is reacting with the oxygen, that it's changing colour. And you can see the little sparks coming off. Now what we've actually done, guys, is we've created a short circuit. And that just means a lot of current is flowing through a thin wire. And it's that high current flow that causes the wire to heat up and catch fire. So if you look at what's left over, you can see that we've got two different shades of grey. The more metallic looking, the shinier looking grey, that's still our iron. And you can see, look, we can just tap it with our battery again. And it does start to catch a light again. Whereas the more dull looking colour, that's our iron oxide. When iron reacts with oxygen, it creates iron oxide, which is just rust. Now the reason that the iron fibers burnt so quickly in our last reaction is because the iron fibers have got a really large surface area, which means that they can react with a lot of oxygen. But let's see what happens when I touch the 9-volt battery on the iron wool and try blowing over it. Guys, so what we're going to do next, we're going to take some of our iron wool, we're going to wrap it in copper wire, take it outside, and we're going to whip it around in the air and see if the more oxygen speeds up the reaction even more. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so what have we learned in this lesson today? Well, we've learned that we can start a fire using iron wool and a 9-volt battery. That when the terminals of the 9-volt battery touch the iron wool, a large current is produced in the thin fibers. This is also known as a short circuit because a lot of heat and light is generated from this short circuit. This causes the iron to heat up and react with the oxygen in the air, forming iron oxide. This is also known as rust. The more oxygen exposed to the iron, the faster the reaction. Alright guys, tap the like, hit subscribe. Ultimate learning.